Kenny-chin, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the lockdown sessions.
Hey, Brad. Good to see you again.
As Director of Strategic Business Development at Red Hat, based out in Singapore, I thought you would have a really interesting perspective on what lockdown would have looked like from a business perspective. Because you've got a whole team, you are dispersed across Asia, and of course, more importantly, you've had to turn your world into a virtual world as well.
Right.
And you've been doing it longer than we've been doing it here.
And I think with Red Hat as well, we were quite fortunate. In the past, we used to almost regularly meet on a quarterly basis for like a quarterly business review. So we take that for granted in the sense that, we always know that we would come together, we would realign, and we would be able to get some form of direction from, all these interactions. And we don't have that anymore. They find themselves no longer traveling and then having to virtually interact with everyone. And having to manage a team on top of that becomes a little tricky, right? How do you get people together without having to actually meet them and interact with them?
I found something interesting that you said there in your opening, because particularly as a people manager, and obviously coming from a development perspective as I do, working in learning and training and coaching, how has that been for you? Your team is dispersed, you are used to that being like connected with each other, you referenced kind of having to work differently. What does that differently look like when you've got a virtual team that you need to make sure are delivering in pretty difficult circumstances? I mean, how have you managed that? How have you managed motivation?
Well, I think like when it comes to like work and managing pipelines and the hard stuff, right? Looking at sales pipeline and opportunities, I think that's all there. Most of the most of the tools are already there for you, right? We have bridge plans, we've got like spreadsheets to kind of track those things. But what I realized early on was that, when I interact with my guys, when I travel to the countries, there is the business aspect, which we always do. And then there's the informal side of just getting to know them, connecting with them, understanding what's going on. And that gets done, by the way, when we're having lunch or after when we're having drinks. We don't have that luxury of interaction anymore because everything is a half an hour session that you've allocated for people, and you jump from one to another, and it can become rather impersonal very quickly.
Maybe the last question, if we kind of come full circle, the last question I want to pose to you is, what's like the funniest thing that's happened over lockdown that you've seen or been involved with? Like, you've got a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old at home. You must have seen something that just made you laugh out loud, when that just gave some light relief to just the horrible time that we've been experiencing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I haven't faced. I haven't faced like the webcam mishaps, with like people running and naked, or the kids coming and jumping on board. So that hasn't been. I don't know if there's funny moments. I think for me, it's just. I mean, I'm thankful with the time with the family, right? And just this ability to kind of watch the little one grow up, especially the youngest one, the 4-year-old girl, right? And it's just been wonderful to be able to do that, right? It's not funny, but it's just it's heartwarming, to be able to do that.
And then will you come back at say the end of October, beginning of November, and do another one with us?
Like, lovely. We'd love to.
We'll find another topic of conversation. Kenny-chin, thank you so much, and keep well and keep safe.
I've missed our chats as well, Brad. So it's been a pleasure.
Love it. Yeah, me too. That was brilliant. I love it. I'm going to stop recording. We'll post it online, and I'll send you a link.
Gotcha.